Hello, loved ones. I hope everyone's well and all that. And this video might be a little different because it's some things that everybody kind of needs to address with themselves. Okay. There's a question that I think that we all should ask ourselves, especially right now during this political season. And I'm not getting political at all, please understand. But because all these politicians and and just people in general try to convince us that we are victims. And in a lot of ways, we kind of get into a victim mentality and a victim mindset and use that as excuses why we can't make our lives better. We think, well, I would, but the government this or that or whatever, or taxes and things like that. Now, yeah, there are some issues there. There's some big issues there, and I'm not saying they don't need to be dealt with. But as I've said before, those are to do with the collective. We're not talking about the collective. We're talking about you, a sovereign individual. Okay? You are not, well, you may be, but I hope that we can change this. You are not a victim unless you choose to be. And I know that in a lot of times, I know in a lot of cases people get defensive with that because they think, well, Matt, you don't understand. I've this, I've that, I've dealt with a lot of things. I understand. I do understand because I've claimed victimhood myself. The only person that victimized me was me. And I could have blamed it on the system. I could have blamed it on a lot of things. But really, I did it to myself. And while you may have things going on in your life that would kind of could compel you to claim victimhood, don't. Okay? Because that is only a part of what I really want to talk about. Because what I really want to talk about is this psychology or this mindset of poverty. Okay? A lot of people are in a good-hearted way, in a really meaningful ways, are trying to better themselves, are trying to pull themselves up by the bootstraps and do the right things to have a good life. But the problem is they get stuck in those things. They get stuck in mentality of, oh, the system is rigged, victim mentality. Or all these people who have things, it was given to them. They inherited their wealth, or they got it from being crooked, or fill in the blanks. And I'm not saying that never happens, but that has nothing to do with you. Let's not blame the fact that somebody may have done well for themselves, or maybe the system was rigged. Whatever. Even if that's true, it doesn't matter. Not to you. We're only going to focus on you, your individual sovereignty, your individuality. And it's really something that you've got to be truthful with yourself. Am I claiming victimhood? Am I having the, excuse me, am I having the mindset of poverty? Do I have a problem with wealth? Do I see people with wealth and kind of and look at them in a bad way? Do I resent wealth? Do I resent people that have money? Do I resent people who are living a great life? Because those are things that will hold you down. Wealth isn't going to come into your life. You're not going to attract it to your life if you resent people who already have. If you resent wealth, I don't go anywhere where I'm resented. I don't go anywhere where I'm not welcome. I don't go anywhere where I'm not wanted, where I'm looked at in a negative light. Do you? So, first of all, if whether or not somebody got their money from negative ways, if they got their money from a rigged system, or if they robbed people, or if they did bad things, that's whatever. That has nothing to do with you as an individual. You're not a victim, and if you have been a victim, not anymore. Not from this day forward, you're not a victim anymore. And from this day forward, you've got to decide, I don't resent wealth. I don't resent wealthy people. In fact, I just want to learn from them. In fact, I just want to let me in the club. Okay? And, like with the whole psychology of, I've got some notes here. With the whole psychology, we can't have anger or resentment towards wealth, towards people with wealth, towards money. We do live in a physical world. This world is, it's physical. And we have to accept that. We are here for a temporary experience. And while we're here, you're going to have to play by the rules. You're going to have to play by natural law. And that's okay. Because the rules are in your favor. You can create whatever it is you want. But you got to get rid of that attitude towards a rigged system, or a mentality of lack. It's like, oh, I would be happy if I only had this, or I want that, or things are going to be great once no, things are great right now. You're perfectly happy with the way things are right now. That's how it has to be. And then a big one is physical poverty in your field. And for some examples of that are, simple things like broken appliances in your house. It might sound kind of silly, but how many times do you see people with a broken toaster or a broken coffee maker in their kitchen? That is poverty. If it doesn't work, get rid of it. Just go in your kitchen and throw it away. Or how many times have you been in someone's apartment or anything and you hear the smoke alarm beeping every 30 seconds? That beep, it's kind of annoying until you get used to it. But you still hear it. You just have gotten to the point where you ignore it. Those are things that scream poverty at your subconscious mind. And you've got to get that out of there. And it might sound a little silly, but it's true. Broken appliances, an unswept floor, the smoke alarm that constantly beeps every 30 seconds or however often it is. Those little things are just little bitty pieces of poverty in your life. Or having say you're not too happy with your car and you just kind of let it go. Clean that thing up. Clean up your car. Clean that thing up as if you had a Lamborghini. Take good care of that thing, and then more will come to you. But if you resist the things, if you hold up if you're resistant to wealth, if you're resistant to nice things, then they're not going to come to you. And take care of the things that you already have and get the poverty out of your life. All the little things that you can do to get rid of, do it. And the rut. Oh my gosh, the rut. People are in such a rut. Every single day is exactly the same thing. They do the exact same thing every single day, and they wonder why they're not getting ahead. They wonder why things never change. And I realize You got to go to work. I understand that. I do. But can you turn left and go a different route one day? Just a question. Are you able to do that? Well, yeah, but I might have to leave 5 minutes early. Okay, leave 5 minutes early. Do things differently than what you've done. Get rid of the things in your life that ain't working. And for God's sake, get rid of this mentality of poverty, of lack, of resistance. Let it in. Let those blessings in. Don't worry. Don't feel bad about it. A lot of people feel bad about having things. I know a lot of people have come from families who, maybe they didn't have much. Okay, that's fine. Lots of people have, but then they didn't have much, and then if they start having things, they kind of downplay it. They and I'm not saying to gloat. I'm not saying to brag. No, but don't be ashamed of things, because a lot of times you'll have people that will come around and be like, oh, wow, looks like somebody's doing well. Don't be like, oh, no, I just, try to make excuses for why you're doing well. No, just be like, yeah, well, thank you, Just let it go. You don't have to explain yourself. Anyway, loved ones, that's kind of what I got. I'm going to do some more on this because while it is good to talk about the things that we do need to do to better our lives, there's a lot of things we don't need to do. There's a lot of changes we need to make. And that poverty mentality, I mean, if you really stop and think about the things that you're accepting from yourself that you could change today, the things in your life that you're accepting that you could change right now. Change the battery in that smoke alarm. I know that's kind of silly, but things like that, it gets into your psyche. It gets into your subconscious. And those are just little bitty things of lack. Get rid of that coffee maker that doesn't work. You got things that are broken. I know you probably intend to fix it. Either fix it or get rid of it. Really. Because those are just little things, just little reminders, little things that you probably don't even see anymore consciously, but they're there. Your subconscious does see them. Your subconscious, it's constantly reminding your subconscious that these are broken things. These are things that don't work. This is poverty. And victimhood or whatever. And I'm speaking to individuals, absolutely not speaking to the collective here. I'm talking to you, the sovereign individual. Get that poverty, get that mentality of victimhood out. Because you're not a victim and you're not in poverty. You do not live in squalor. You have all of that. And get busy. Get moving. We do live in a physical world. We have to take those physical steps. Yes, the affirmations and the positive thinking and the getting our vibration up, all of that is important. But what is also important is that we physically move in the direction of our goals. And keep those goals to yourself. Don't put it out there. Put it out to the field, but don't put it out there to people. Keep that to yourself. Let them be amazed when you succeed. I didn't even know you were working on such a thing. When did you start this? Let that be the reaction. Anyway, loved ones, I did get a podcast episode out. I totally skipped last week. I did, but whatever. If you would, please, I feel like this message is important. I feel like this message is probably as equally as important as the good things that we do. And this is good. But we're kind of focusing on some negative, but there's some negative things that we need to get out of our lives. So please share this maybe. Give me a like for sure, comments, and subscribe if you haven't. I love you, and I'll be back directly.